All right, Broncos country, looks like we are live, but you guys know the drill by now. We got to let the stream breathe for just a second here and make sure that everything is nice and stable all across the YouTube platform. Welcome in, Broncos country, to this Denver Broncos Syndicate post-game show after the Denver Broncos defeat the New Orleans Saints in their preseason finale 28-19. As we always say in the preseason, the final score doesn't matter. It's all about the process. It's all about what happens during the game as opposed to the result of the game. But at the end of the day, going 3-0 in the preseason is always a fun accomplishment, even though it doesn't really mean much at the end of the day. And we did see some encouraging signs from the Denver Broncos in this game, especially from the starters on both sides of the ball. After a little bit of a shaky start, I thought Bo Nix settled in and played really well, developed and showed some really nice chemistry with Courtland Sutton in this game. So I thought that was really nice to see. The run game did leave a little bit to be desired in the first half, but in the second half, they picked things up. I thought this was Audric Estime's best game out there. Then defensively, we didn't allow New Orleans to get into the end zone until it was third stringers on defense. So the first and second team defense both kept New Orleans out of the end zone. So overall, a lot of positive things to take away. But starting off with Bo Nix, he went 10 for 14 on the day for 100 yards and a passing touchdown. The beginning of the game, without a doubt, was shaky from Bo Nix. He had the delay of game penalty that at the end of the day I'm going to put on him because he needs to be aware of the play clock. Even though Sean Payton might have been a little bit slow getting the play call in, and even though they broke the huddle with, I think it was like maybe 10 seconds or something like that, Bo Nix still needs to be aware of the play clock in that situation. Delay of game penalties simply cannot happen. We also saw one occur under Sam Ehlinger as well. But after that point, Bo Nix bounced back well. He showed some really nice chemistry with Courtland Sutton. They connected on fourth down on a back shoulder fade. Then Bo Nix on the run hit Courtland Sutton. A really nice throw from Bo moving to his left, and Courtland took it 43 yards on a really nice catch and run. And then Bo Nix on his final throw of the day just kind of lobbed that one up there in the end zone for Courtland Sutton. Kind of yucked it up off of his back foot. Sutton was able to come down with it. It was an impressive catch and a really good job by Bo Nix handling a free rusher in his face. We'd seen him earlier in the preseason and even earlier on in this game struggle when he had a free rusher right in his face. That time, he hung in there and threw it at the last possible second. That's exactly how you want to deal with free rushers. So overall, a very positive taste in Bo Nix's mouth after a pretty bitter taste in his mouth after his first preseason game. So I'm pleased with Bo Nix, and it's good to see him work out some of these kinks and get some of these jitters out of his system now as opposed to week one against Tennessee. I think that he's going to be a lot sharper in week one because he played these games in the preseason. Deep down, I kind of would have liked to have seen him play a few more preseason snaps. Caleb Williams got the entire first half for the Bears against Kansas City, but I also understand that you don't want to risk injury in ultimately a meaningless preseason game, but these are good practice reps, and I thought that Bo Nix and the first-team offense, especially on their second and third drives, were able to take advantage of that. A little bit of a surprise, but according to Sean Payton, it was the plan all along. Jarrett Stidham did not play in this game. We saw Sam Ehlinger after the third offensive drive on for the entire game. And for Sam Ehlinger, he definitely had some splash plays out there. Made a couple of really nice throws. Had another touchdown where, or I don't recall if it went for a touchdown or not, but had that really nice throw. Yeah, it was a touchdown, the one to Kyrie's Rowan, where he just kind of threw it up. Again, just trying to make something happen right there. That was a really nice play from Sam Ehlinger. Had a really nice layered throw, an opposite side. He was on the far hash and was throwing an outbreaking route, a 15-yard outbreaking route to Jerwan Newton, and it was a perfect ball, able to layer it over the DB. So that was the good from Sam Ehlinger. The bad from Sam Ehlinger, he did take some bad sacks, took a really bad fourth down sack where you just can't have that. I said it in my game stream where you've got to find a way to throw the ball there. You can't just sit there and hold the ball and get sacked. You've got to find a way to get the ball out. You've got to find a way to make a play in that situation. And unfortunately, Sam Ehlinger just didn't do it. I am not seeing comments. I don't know if there's nobody in the chat room right now or if StreamYard is being dumb. Nope, looks like there's just nobody in the chat room right now. So if somebody's here that's watching, if you could leave a comment just to let me know that the StreamYard chat room is working, that would be absolutely incredible. And if not, then I will know that it's not working. But as of, okay, there we go. There's Mike. All right, it is working. We are good. And my connection just fritzed out, so we're going to have to refresh real quick, guys. I'm going to drop for about 30 seconds, and then I will be back. So bear with me, guys. It's going to be weird again for about 30 seconds. I'm going to drop off right now. I'm going to drop off again. Apologies for that. I just had to reset my mobile hotspot. Let's go ahead and take a look at some stats here from this game. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the stats for this one here. We'll go ahead and take a look at the box score. Let's go. Let's go. Make sure that that's displaying the way that I want it to. Let's go ahead and get my ugly mug out of here. That way we can see the entire thing. There we go. All right, so stat-wise, Sam Ehlinger, 22 for 31, 198 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 3 sacks. Those weren't great, but again, had some really nice splash plays. Bo Nix, 10 for 14, 110 yards and a touchdown. You'll take that kind of performance all day long. I thought Bo Nix really settled in there and played well, as I said earlier. Audric Estime was the best running back for the Denver Broncos out there. 8 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown. Sam Ehlinger, 6 carries for 25 yards. Tyler Bidet, 4 carries for 14 yards. Blake Watson, 4 carries for 13 yards. And then RJ Harvey, 3 carries for just 4 yards. That certainly isn't great. Cortland Sutton had 4 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. Again, really got settled in there with Bo Nix, and they developed some nice chemistry. Kroll had 3 catches for 49 yards. Kyrese Rowan, 4 catches for 33 yards. And that touchdown on that prayer from Sam Ehlinger. 4 catches for 31 yards for Tyler Bidet. 1 catch for 23 yards for Caleb Lohner. A really nice catch from Courtney Jackson where he climbed the imaginary ladder and made a really nice catch on an in-breaking route. I didn't know that Courtney had it in him. It was a good play as well from Sam Ehlinger. 3 catches for 19 yards for Jerwan Newton, and then really have much of an impact. Evan Ingram did have a drop. That was kind of tough to see. Sutton had an early drop as well, but again, bounced back really well. Would like to see more from Evan Ingram, but he did have that nice run and catch in the preseason game against Arizona, so that was the splash play that you're going to get from Evan Ingram. Correne Reed had a fumble recovery in this one. I thought Reed played really well. Lavelle Bailey played well, 5 tackles on the day. He was flying around making plays. Joshua Pickett with 4 tackles. Q Robinson, 4 tackles, and he forced that fumble that Correne Reed recovered on a strip sack. And then we'll go ahead and pause so you guys can take a look here. Pat Surtain had a PBU on a target. Really good stuff. Jordan Turner made another splash play out there. So overall, man, really positive stuff on both sides of the ball. I thought Chris Abrams-Drain looked awesome, and I'll speak more on how these guys played after I watch the film, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But these are some of the guys who stood out immediately. Who are you guys looking at here? Let's go ahead and bring some of these comments back here. Anyone notice how Courtland has really been working out? I think that Cortland Sutton is definitely committed to taking care of his body at this point, but unfortunately did have a rough start to the game, but a really strong finish. I'm really excited for Cortland Sutton to see how he's going to play moving forward. Let's go ahead and bring me back in. There we go. Julian says, I'm a little disappointed preseason is over and the Broncos never called me to suit up. Damn it. One day, Julian, you'll get your opportunity. I promise. Price is Right music playing according to Mike. All right, guys, let me know if you guys have any questions, any comments, any concerns about today's performance. After we get out of this stream, I'm going to make a 53-man roster prediction, so I'm going to reserve some of those for that video. But if you guys have any basic questions about who might make this team, go ahead and drop those in the comment section below. We're going to go ahead and open the thread up at this point, and I will answer any questions that you guys might have. Mundungus says, a little concerned about the offensive line. I would agree. And I wasn't concerned about the offensive line entering this offseason, but they're transitioning to more of a wide zone-based scheme. And it seems that some of the personnel up front, in particular Ben Powers and Luke Wattenberg, they might not be suited to run that kind of scheme. I think Ben Powers, no pun intended, is more of a power-running offensive lineman. And then you've got Luke Wattenberg, who was originally drafted to play in a wide zone scheme, but I don't think he's played really well in that area at all. He's struggled as a run blocker throughout his entire career. I think that Alex Forsyth is the far superior run blocker, but even Quinn Miners had a couple of rough reps out there. I think both tackles, Mike McGlinchey and Garrett Bowles, they've played fine the majority of the preseason, haven't really noticed too much out of them, but the interior of the offensive line as far as starters go, it's a little bit concerning. It really is, especially center and left guard. I'm not worried about Quinn Miners at all. He's going to be just fine. He'll get the jitters out of his system, and Miners will be back to his old self in no time. But Ben Powers, Luke Wattenberg, definitely worried about that. And we did have some good depth up until last week. Nick Gargiulo had stepped up, and he was playing really well on the offensive line. But he went down with that season-ending knee injury after he got rolled up on in the Cardinals game, and that was a significant hit to the depth on the Broncos' interior offensive line. Now you've got guys like Matt Peart, Alex Forsyth, Alex Palczewski. You might even have Calvin Throckmorton make the team, and I'm just concerned about these players, man. I'm concerned in the event that one of our starters goes down, and even if one of our starters doesn't go down, because this is a new scheme this year, I'm worried about the line in particular in run blocking. Pass blocking, I'd like to assume they're going to get their stuff together, because this was one of the best pass blocking offensive lines in football last year. So I don't think that pass blocking is the big concern. They'll get some of that stuff figured out, but run blocking, I've got some worries because I don't know if our personnel up front is going to match the new scheme. We've got, I'm going to assume that's Donnie in the house saying Pat Bryant should have been with the starters. Yeah, I was a little surprised that we didn't see Pat Bryant get more work with the ones. He's obviously going to be a lock to make the 53-man roster, but we were seeing Pat Bryant play even into the fourth quarter. I was a little bit surprised by that, but overall, I think that Pat Bryant is going to have a big role on this offense in year one. There's a reason why they were comfortable moving on from Devon Vele outside of the fact that they couldn't refuse a fourth-round pick. They knew that Bryant was going to step up. They knew that Trent Sherfield was going to step up. We didn't see Sherfield whatsoever today, so I'm confident in those guys. I am a little surprised to see how late Bryant was playing in that game, though. Minnie, we are not going to be able to use that language here, unfortunately. There's a few swear words I'll allow, but unfortunately, stuff like that I just can't allow. Sorry. The majority of the first drive, Nix had a free rusher in his face from the right side almost every play. Sometimes the free rushers are by design, but sometimes they're not. I'll have to go back and look at the tape to confirm if they were by design or not, but if you have more than one free rusher, that's generally a problem. Sometimes there's just going to be more guys coming than you can block, and you're not going to be able to block everybody. And you'll have one free rusher, and offenses will know that, and they'll take that into account. But sometimes the free rusher will come, and it's not from where you're expecting it. So I'll have to go look at the film before I can comment too much on if these free rushers were anticipated well by the offense or not. But overall, I thought that Bo showed promise with a free rusher in his face on that final throw into the end zone to Cortland Sutton. That rusher was right there. He was firing right in his face, and Bo Nix did a good job holding onto the ball until the last possible second, and then he finally got it off. Mundungus says, Bidet running with the ones was interesting. Yeah, man. I think that Bidet is definitely a lock to make this team, and I think that the 4 running backs are set. It's going to be J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Tyler Bidet. With Blake Watson going down with an injury in this game, that could open up the door for Audric Estime to make the practice squad. I don't know if Estime is going to clear waivers or not. We'll see if that happens, but if Audric Estime does clear waivers with Blake Watson going down, he might have a shot at making the squad. Otherwise, if there's some other team out there that wants to take a gamble on Estime's, in theory, upside, then I think that he might go in that direction. But otherwise, if Blake Watson's injury is serious, then this might be good news for Audric Estime making the team. I got cotton mouth from hell, bro. I cannot talk. Is this the year that Mathis gets cut? It might. I still think that there's going to be a spot for Damari Mathis on the practice squad. He's played well in training camp. He's given up a couple of splash plays, but outside of that, I think he's been solid in coverage. So I think Mathis might stick around on the practice squad unless there's other teams out there that might want to claim him off waivers. Then we could see Mathis gone, but I think the Broncos coaching staff likes him. They think he's solid depth, and they should at least keep him around on the practice squad. How would you grade R.J. Harvey's preseason? So a little bit of a mixed bag, right? I mean, we saw some struggles in the San Francisco game, did show a couple of flashes, looked really good against Arizona, and then kind of struggled a little bit in this game. Granted, the run blocking wasn't fantastic. So I think a straight line dead average C is fair. I don't think that he's been bad. I don't think that he's been amazing per se. He's shown some flashes, but I do think you want the consistency to be a little bit greater with R.J. Harvey. So that's how I would evaluate his preseason. Pretty sure Bill wants Ehlinger to start now because he played so well today. Ehlinger did have his moments, but I wouldn't exactly say that he played great. He played okay, but those negative plays, man, the sack on 4th down, the sack on the 2-point conversion. He did miss a couple of throws, but overall, I thought that Ehlinger did at least show that the Broncos can keep him as their 3rd quarterback on the practice squad, and they shouldn't go out and try to find an immediate upgrade over him. He played okay, made some decent throws, but also had some plays that had you scratching your head a little bit and were wondering, what the hell are you doing out there, Sam? So, yeah, man, Ehlinger, up and down day. Not as consistent as I would like it to be, but that's why he's a 3rd-string quarterback in the NFL. That's why he's not a starter. He's got the physical tools. Sam Ehlinger can ball, man. He can throw some moon balls. He can sling the pill. He can make some stuff happen off schedule. And I think that's why Sean Payton liked him, because he can do some of the same stuff that Bo Nix can, but the down-to-down consistency with Sam Ehlinger just isn't there. We saw too much inconsistency in training camp, and he's had those splash plays, but he's also had those negative plays as well. And speaking of guys with splash plays, there's been a little bit of a competition in the Broncos linebacker room. I do think one of the undrafted linebackers is going to make the team. Is it going to be Jordan Turner or Corinne Reed? Corinne Reed had some really nice splash plays in the preseason, but the down-to-down consistency, I'd probably give that. I'm sorry, Jordan Turner had splash plays, but the down-to-down consistency, I would probably give that to Corinne Reed. So who's going to make the team? As of right now, I would probably say Reed, but Turner has definitely made a case this preseason because he's had those splash plays. Mark says, RJ missed a hole inside and bounced outside, which created the Troutman hold. He had his man pinned towards the sideline. I kind of noticed that as well. Not a great rep. I'll have to go back and look at it on tape again, but certainly not great. When will we start seeing cuts and the final roster picture? I think as early as tomorrow. I think tomorrow morning the Broncos will get right on it. Teams haven't wasted any time so far this preseason. Like, teams that played on Thursday and Friday have already made their cuts. So it would not surprise me at all if we started to see cuts tomorrow. Do you think Courtney Jackson makes the 53-man roster? I'm not going to spoil anything because I am going to make a roster prediction video after this, but I do think that he made a strong case in this game. We'll just put it that way. So, yeah, man, I cannot believe that preseason is finally over. This preseason honestly felt like it went by quick. I said it was finally over, but it felt like this preseason was so fast moving. Same thing with training camp. Like training camp went like that this year. It really did. So the next time the Denver Broncos take the field, it's going to be the real deal. They're going to be playing with all the marbles on the line. Week 1 against the Tennessee Titans. It's going to be insane. So many questions I have, but I have to save something for Tuesday. Fair enough, Mike. Fair enough. But yeah, man, the next time that we see the Denver Broncos in action, it's going to be the real deal. If any of these jitters from some of the players like Bo Nix translate into the week one regular season game, then I might have some concerns. But as of right now, it's preseason. You can't overreact one way or the other. All right, Broncos country, we're going to go ahead and start winding things down here. That way we can get some of our other content out. Really appreciate everyone for tuning in. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity now to ask any further questions if you guys have them. I will go ahead and give you guys about a minute or two to get those questions in. I would be more than happy to take them before we dip out of here. Otherwise, guys, please be sure to leave a like on this stream as well as subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you guys want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. I would really appreciate it. It's not mandatory, but if you guys want some extra perks, extra incentives in exchange for helping me out each month, I would really appreciate it, guys. Again, the link, or actually I didn't put the link in the description below, but there should be a join button next to the subscribe button. You could find that there. We got Roan in the house saying, what would Bidet's role on offense be since Harvey and Dobbins are there? I think that Tyler Bidet is going to be kind of a Swiss Army knife. He'll catch passes out of the backfield. He'll pass protect. He showed some really nice flashes of that in this game. I think that he'll just do a little bit of everything for you. He'll kind of be almost like a Joker, but not really the Joker role, but more of a Joker in the sense that you can do a bunch of different stuff with him. Addict with a Pen says, thanks, Gage. Good show today. Really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up, and we will get that roster prediction video recorded as soon as possible. And until the next one, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.